It is a logic circuit diagram. Now, previously you've seen these symbols before, but you've seen them on their own with their formulas. It's been pretty straightforward so far. This is where it starts to get a little bit more complicated, but I promise you, you'll get it straight away. So, when you're presented with one of these in an exam, normally the question is going to ask you to come up with the formula for this diagram. Don't worry, I'm going to show you my strategy for getting this formula right every time. The key is to break the problem down. Okay, now I've numbered these gates just to help you understand which gate I'm referencing throughout this process. Now, I always start off with the gate in the top left corner of the diagram. This is the best way of doing it. So I'll start off with that one. That is gate 1. Now, I'm going to take this as it is, pretend it's on its own. Gate 1 takes 2 inputs and it's an OR gate. Those 2 inputs are A and B. Now, because it's an OR gate, the formula for gate 1 is A or B. And I'm going to put that in brackets because that is gate 1. That is just for that one gate. Okay. Now, we've got gate 2. But gate 1 and gate 2, they are connected through gate 3. Okay, so before I get to gate 2, I'm actually going to note down which gate is actually connecting 1 and 2 together. That's gate 3, which is an AND gate. And I'm just going to write AND, okay? So I've got A or B, and now I'm waiting to put in gate 2. Now, just as I did with gate 1, I'm going to do the exact same thing with gate 2. Gate 2 is an AND gate this time, and it's using just 2 inputs with C and D. So therefore, gate 2 is C and D. So that gives me my formula of A or B and C and D. And of course, that gives my final thing to mention, which is the output at the end, which is E. And that is it. It was that simple. Feel free to pause the video here to note down what it was I just did. Go back if you need to go back. Do what you need to do. Yeah. Okay. Next, I'm actually going to show you how to turn this formula into a truth table. Okay. I know you might be thinking, this looks tough. This is a big table. In fact, it is the biggest truth table you've seen so far. They can get bigger. They can get more complicated. But you know what? They are still very much possible. Okay, I'm going to show you just how this is done. So I've got my inputs done already. They were done earlier. Now this is following the exact same process as we did with the smaller tables, where we start off with them all on zeros, and then as we're going down the truth table, we use all 4 columns to count in binary. So if you actually look down this table, you'll see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it goes on. Now this carries on until all of the inputs are ones. Okay. Now that I've got the inputs done, I'm going to put more focus on sorting out the outputs. And just as we did when we were making the formula, we're going to break this down bit by bit, or gate by gate, I guess. So the very first gate we're working with in our formula is A or B. That's why the first column of our outputs is just looking at A or B. Okay. Now, to do this, that means we're just going to focus on the A and the B columns to answer the A or B column. Okay. So this is an OR gate, and we know the rule for an OR gate is that at least one input needs to be a 1 in order to get a 1 as our output. Now in the first row we've got 2 zeros, meaning that's a 0. Next we've got 2 zeros, giving me a 0. 2 zeros gives me another 0. 2 zeros gives me another 0. We've got 0 and a 1, I should have a 1. We've got another 1 over there, give me a 1. Another 1, give me a 1. Another 1, give me a 1. We've got another 1. Another 1. Another 1. Another 1. Another 1.
Another one.
another one,
Another one.
another one,
Another one.
and another one. Okay, that is that column done. That was easy. Now let's have a look at C and D. Okay, so we've got C and D over here, meaning we're going to forget about the A and B column, and we're going to focus on the C and the D column. Okay, now this is the same concept, but except it's an AND gate this time. So both values need to be true in order to get the true result, meaning we're looking for two ones to get a 1. If we don't get two ones, we're getting a 0. So the first row we have two zeros. We've got 1 0, so we have 0. We've got 1 0, so we have 0. We have two ones, meaning we should have a 1. We have two zeros again, so a 0. We've got 1 0 there, so it's a 0. We've got another 0, so again a 0. We've got two ones, meaning we get 1. We've got two zeros, so we have a 0. We have 1 0, so we have a 0. We have another 0, giving us a 0. We've got two ones again, so we get 1. And then we've got a 0 over here, that should be a 0, another 0, and over here we've got two ones, giving us a 1. Simple. Now we move on to our final column, E. Now E is effectively the combination of the column A or B and C or D. But of course, we have an AND in between them in our formula, which means we're going to create an AND result over here, meaning we need to have two ones to get a 1. I already see two zeros, two zeros, two zeros, 1 0, we've got another 1 0, we've got a 0 again, a 0 again. We have two ones, so we get a 1. There's a 0, there's a 0, there's a 0. We've got two ones again, so we have 1. There's a 0, another 0, another 0. And finally, two ones, so we get a 1. And that's it. That is how you do a truth table for one of these formulas.